She's my queen to be. Welcome to our YouTube channel. I am Sugar. This is my best friend
Spice.
And today we're going to be reviewing Married at First Sight once again.
Season 12, episode 7.
Are y'all ready? Because I'm stressed.
Me too.
Also, we also want to say thank you to all the new subscribers we've been getting, all the new interactions we've had on Twitter and Instagram. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Suga, S-U-G-A, and Spice 88. All right, let's get it popping.
All right, let's start. So we open up the scene with all the couples. They're leaving the honeymoon. Everyone's flying back home, and they're gonna start the moving in process, pretty much. So we'll start this with Haley and Jacob. And basically, with Haley and Jacob, they've had an argument. Haley and Jacob are still not talking. Jacob actually accused Haley of having a boyfriend back home. So that's where they are pretty much going into Atlanta with right now. We find out that the argument is about pretty much Haley goes down and says that she's gonna go have drinks with the girls. Jacob goes down to get himself something to eat, and he finds out that the guys are there too. And at that point, when Haley sees Jacob, she kind of runs away and tries to avoid him from seeing her. And pretty much Jacob feels hurt by it, which he has a right to. That was messed up. It's super embarrassing. And according to her, she doesn't feel like she did anything wrong. But Jacob is doubling down on how he feels, and he's pretty much saying like, no, you're pretty much an a-hole because that's not how you're supposed to treat people. And he's trying to really hold her accountable. At that point, Haley gets mad and says, I can't believe you're calling me a liar. And Jacob says, well, you lied, so I don't know what else to call you.
So she just basically does not want to admit that she's 100% absolutely wrong in the situation. She could have just said, oh, I need some me time, or I'm going to go do something by myself, or you could have said anything, girl. I don't know why you would do that. And, you know, basically he just keeps it 100% real with her and just said, that's some straight bull. This whole situation is a mess. You didn't even have to lie. And basically he says that, you know, we obviously are living in two different worlds. The real world and Haley and her, he said BS
world.
Which is true. He called her out on it. It's true.
Yeah.
If you're not attracted to the man, or you're not clicking with him or vibing with him, it's a process.
Right.
Obviously you could just say that. And
she doesn't want to.
People will understand. He will understand. But you don't want to do it. So in the process of you trying to, I don't want to hurt his feelings, you hurt his feelings.
So we go into the next day, and then Haley says that Jacob apologizes to her, which I'm a little surprised about because I felt like Jacob was 100% in the right. The only thing that was the accusation of having a boyfriend back home was like, that was a dig, I guess. But I mean, if it's not true, I don't really see. I don't see
the big deal.
Yeah. Jacob goes to Haley's house and he sees a blouse in the closet. He calls it a Karen blouse, which I thought was hilarious.
Like I guess it's kind of, even though it was an argument, it was kind of like a breaking of the ice where it's like, I'm not really trying to impress you anymore. So now I'm just out here.
Right.
You know, I already done said everything I wanted to say to you. And now I guess his personality is coming out because he feels comfortable now. That barrier is down, so he's a little more jokey, and he's kind of showing his little personality more.
Yeah, she really didn't really laugh that much. I don't think she found it funny, but I thought it was hilarious. So I'm starting to like Jacob more and more, and I'm starting to like Haley less and less.
They definitely have kind of switched. She now seems like the kind of awkward, why are you acting like that one? And I'm starting to think that the reason that he wasn't really extremely forthcoming with his personality in the first place is because she didn't really make him feel comfortable.
He goes to Jacob's house, and Jacob's house is very, you know, obviously it's 80s. and you know, it's neon, and it's, you know, all things Jacob, which, you know, they've pretty much said since the wedding day, Jacob is all about the 80s. So she's pointing it out like, wow, it's very 80s in here. And it's like, girl, like,
that's his thing. That's his hobby.
that's
his
him.
niche.
You know, from the fanny pack, from the weird shirts, from the shoes, from everything.
The music he keeps mentioning.
Everything. It's always been 80s. So I don't know why he would go to his place and expect nothing but 80s. I mean, come on. They meet with Pastor Cal, and pretty much Haley is opening up, and she's saying that the argument, basically him accusing her of having a boyfriend back at home, is pushing, like, that really upset her, and that's pushing her away from connecting to him, when in reality, they were disconnecting before that argument, which is why you went downstairs to have girls' time with everyone else but him.
If you would just be upfront and honest, you wouldn't have half the problem. You would have never had the big argument about you lying and all of everything else
and
that's coming after, and you're still lying.
You're still lying.
And you're trying to make it seem like it's him. She even said that, yeah, in the meeting with Pastor Kyle, yeah, I definitely feel like the 80s thing is a red flag. It's a hobby. Why is that a red flag? It's just something I like.
It's not like an addiction to like alcohol. Like you
he
see
busted
him
out a crack pipe, and she was like, or you could just be upfront and say, he's just not for me. Girl. Now, instead, you're in turn trying to make him feel bad about being himself. It just doesn't make any sense. Honestly, I feel like Haley probably is the type of girl that likes F-boys. She likes a little drama. She likes a little danger, and that's why, even though he is a little dry, I just feel like she's so bored with him because that's the type of guy that she's probably usually prone to. She seems, she's giving me that vibe. I could be wrong, but that's the vibe that she's giving me, that, oh, I like a bad boy, like something like in that kind of realm. Not for nothing.
Maybe.
Just a thought. Maybe she's completely turned off because when they did have sex that first night wasn't that good.
That might have been it. That might be it, because it seemed like after they did that, she had buyer's remorse. Like, she completely was like not here for it anymore.
She was like,
yeah, no, I think that's it. So yeah.
Because if it was popping,
if it was popping,
she would have, the next day,
the 80s thing wouldn't even matter.
It wouldn't even been a problem.
It wouldn't matter.
Dang, I'm so sorry.
Dang, Jacob, I can't
help
you with
Jacob.
that one.
So sorry. Tough in the street.
Word.
Next couple.
All right, so now we're going to go to Clara and Ryan. So they're like talking, they're in bed talking, and pretty much Ryan mentions that he wants to be in bed by 10 p.m. I just don't understand Ryan with his, what was it? He said, I have a big personality. Y'all gonna have to find this. Stop. Y'all gonna have to.
I hate that laugh.
I'm
sorry. I'm not trying to be messy.
Y'all gonna have to find this big personality, because I don't see it. Like, every time we look for it, he come with another rule. So then they go into Ryan's house, and you know, Ryan's house is nice, it's organized on the outside. You start opening up some cabinets, you know, opening up some drawers.
You know that quick cleanup you do when like you was getting ready, and then somebody came back. Your homegirl come back with you, like, oh shoot, you run back in the house real quick, throw everything in the drawer. Everything was just stuffed in drawers, stuff hanging out, a little sleeve over here, stuff like that.
But the way he describes himself is organized and, what is it?
Structured.
Yeah, so why are your cabinets falling? And why are your clothes stuffed in there?
Ain't no structure in them cabinets, because that thing was linked.
Ryan is not showing us the real him.
Something going on,
Something is off about Ryan, because he's saying things, but it's not lining up with what we seeing. Then we go to Clara's place. I mean, it's smaller, but it's neat. She opens her drawers. Immaculate. Now, this surprised me because Clara's so wild and crazy. And then remember her luggage? Her luggage was all messy.
I would expect her place to be a little more...
Yeah, messy. But it was clean. It was neat. And then her drawers were nice. They're impeccable. So, they come up with this whole cute thing. Like, yeah, definitely wash and dry for Ryan, and Clara will be doing the floating. And I thought that was cute. So then Pastor Cal comes through. And they're like putting on the show. We just don't know why. We haven't had an argument. And
everything is great.
So great. So
everything's perfect.
So it's amazing how
perfect. I love
you. It could be. It couldn't have been more perfect.
Like, all right.
Pastor Cal's like, I bet you if I bring up an issue right now, y'all gonna start arguing. Why y'all fronting? Like,
what did they say? They were like, yeah, we were gonna ask you. Like, is it strange we're just not having any problems?
Bruh.
I was like,
what are you even talking about? Y'all are weirdos. I don't know. Maybe they're trying to come off as like the perfect couple, but it's just coming off very strange.
It just seems like they're so withholding. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
You see how every time he asks a question, they look at each other like.
It's Clara that looks at Ryan.
Yeah.
Clara
she's like,
she needs
what's
his
the right
permission.
answer?
Yeah, she needs his
Are
permission.
we talking about this or no?
Mm-hmm.
Because when Pastor Cal said, so have you guys consummated the marriage? She was shook. She no?
Can I say, can I tell him? What do we say? It was very weird. It was very weird.
Strange.
And we actually find out that they did not consummate the marriage.
They say.
I don't know if they're lying or not, because Ryan did say that he wanted to keep that private, so maybe they'll lie to keep it private.
And that's why she looked at him like, because if it was just a no, I just feel like they would have been like, no. But they were doing signals and all this stuff. Like, yes or no?
Bruh.
Answer the question.
It was weird. And then she says they do other stuff, but they're not doing that. Okay, girl, whatever, bye. Pastor Cal brings up like love and how Ryan says he's never used that word. He's never been in love. He's never told anybody he loved them. And Pastor Cal tries to set him at ease and lets him know that love is not a feeling. It's a commitment and it's a choice, which, I agree with. I agree that it's a feeling as well, but it's definitely a commitment and a choice for sure. And like Ryan is just like, sure. But he's not really sure. Yeah. But he's not really
he's not really absorbing it. He wasn't really like, agreeing. You know what? I feel you.
Yeah.
He was like,
okay, all right.
I don't care what you're talking about right now, Pastor.
Sure. Yeah, he ain't here for that. He's like, I don't know what you're talking about, but I ain't saying I love you till I feel like it. Pretty much is where he was coming from.
And who's gonna check me?
So then he goes over to Clara, and Clara's like, well, you know me, I fall in love every day. I'm Clara, so you know how that goes. And like Ryan just be looking at her like I don't even be knowing like if he really like her for real. I think he likes her, but
that's what I'm saying. Even still, we're this far in, and I don't know. Get vibes from him. He's like, yeah, we're so attracted to each other. I'm like, really?
Are you?
Because I'm just not getting it.
Not
from
reading
you guys.
that.
Like, I just don't. Even when they went to each other's house, when they greeted each other at the door, they were like, that's how I greet my friends. Like, oh, hey.
That's your wife.
They didn't kiss. It wasn't like,
He's like he's shy about the physical intimacy stuff, but that makes me wonder if they're really not doing anything, or if he just is not
trying to keep
it
low.
Yeah, I think he's trying to keep it low. I think they did it.
I think so too.
So then we move on to Eric and Virginia. So Eric and Virginia are in pretty much their neutral home. Virginia actually points out that she's going to be needing her space sometime. And, I feel like, it does strike Eric as a little weird. He does go into the confessional and says, like, I don't understand how much space she's going to need from me when I'm already gone half the month. So that's just a really weird thing. That's not what husbands and wives do. But when he was in front of her face, he was saying things like, oh, yeah, if you're feeling like whatever, I could always give you a day. So it's a little bit like, I don't think he's being 100% upfront and honest with her as I think he needs to be. Because in a marriage, no, you don't get a whole day or a weekend to get space. Like you could go do your nails, go for a couple hours and go out to eat or something, but you don't just not be around me for a day or two. But in her situation, it's even worse because he's already gonna be gone.
And you're still talking about
for
you're
2
cool
weeks
with
out
me
the
needing
month,
space, right? How much?
So how much space do you need, Virginia? Is single enough space for you?
I'm not really quite sure why she entered this process because all of her behaviors are screaming, I'm quite comfortable being by myself.
Yes.
I want to be able to do what I want. I don't want to have to make any sacrifices and just go out, party, drink, live my life, dolo, come and go as I please. That's the single life. That's not married life.
It's not married life. I think she just wanted to be married because when she is alone, she just doesn't want to feel alone. Maybe she just has issues with just being by herself. And your friends, they could take up a lot of your time, but they can't take up all of your time.
Right.
You still go home and you're by yourself. So, but a husband comes with more than just companionship. So
it's a lot more than that.
Yeah, it comes with a lot more. So they go to Virginia's house, and I thought Virginia's house was cute. Virginia's house is like homey. She has pictures up. It's super cute. And then they go to Eric's house. And Eric's house, well, it's a condo. It's extremely pristine. Like
very modern.
The chandelier, the marble
fireplace.
It still gives me Bachelor vibes because it's like black, white, red. So like very Bachelor colors. So it doesn't feel very warm. But it's still very, very nice and, pricey looking. So, kudos to Eric. She doesn't seem that impressed though. I think that Virginia doesn't really care for that flashy, modern, pricey look. I think she really just cares more about like comfortability, practicality, and like a warm space. So I don't think Virginia was too impressed. Virginia goes into her confessional and she says something along the lines of that she wants guys' nights and she wants girls' nights.
What the heck is guys' nights?
Child. So Virginia and Eric meet up with Pastor Cal. So they meet up with Pastor Cal, and news to us, it turns out that Virginia and Eric have consummated their marriage. But it gets real heated real fast because Eric jumps right into it. He pretty much says that Virginia thinks that this is some sort of boyfriend-girlfriend relationship, whereas, he feels as though with them being married, she has to adjust to some of her, her habits when it comes to partying, being out all night, hanging out with her friends. So he points out some things she points out some things that bothers her. So first thing, when she goes somewhere, he wanted her, or when she goes somewhere, when she gets to the house or wherever she's at, he wants her to text him and let him know that, she's arrived safely. I see no problem with that, but apparently Virginia thinks that she's 16 again and it's her parents asking her to check in.
That's just about caring. Like, we do that to each other when we leave each other. Like, oh, let me know you got home safe.
That's normal. Like, and I'm surprised that isn't normal between her friends because 9 times out of 10 they're drinking all night. So
hello?
Why wouldn't you be like, text me when you get home safely? Like, you should be used to getting those texts.
Because
the way she be partying. Then he says like she was leaving one day and he told her, yeah, be careful out there, and she got offended.
Make it make sense.
I'm confused for him. I'm lost with that.
You're upset because someone is wishing that you stay safe out there? Do you get mad when people be like, have a good day?
It's weird.
What?
She's really stretching it.
So then Virginia brings up the fact that Eric basically told her she needed to ask his permission to go somewhere.
To go out with her friends.
So
basically, if I set up drinks with my friends to go out, and I'm like, oh yeah, all right, I'll see you later. I'll be home by 9. I'm going out. And he didn't like that. He didn't like her telling him
He needed a, hey, can I go? That's not.
It's weird because he says, you don't need my permission, but you need to ask me.
I didn't say you needed permission. I just see that you ain't asked me.
Eric, make it make sense,
That's
bro.
the
You're
same
bugging.
thing.
You're bugging.
What?
Because if there's no kids involved, if there's no real responsibilities involved, if, you know, there's no, like, plans that were scheduled ahead between me and you, if I just let you know I'm going out to have a drink with my friends or going out to get something to eat, I really don't see the issue. I don't know why I need to ask you. So that's a red flag. Eric is actually very, very controlling. And he keeps trying to hide it like he's not, but it's leaking out everywhere.
People can only hide their crazy butt for so long.
Yeah.
It's going to seep through your pores.
Yes.
The more you try to hide it, the more it's gonna
comes out.
Mm-hmm. Come right on out.
So she says, you know, then the whole guy friends thing, you know, like, you know, I don't see a problem with me, you know, if I'm drinking and, you know, I just pass out on my guy friend's couch, you know, it's not a big deal. And yo, past the cow's face.
Pastor Cal's facial expressions took me out this entire episode. In what world? I was like, girl, what are you talking about? In what world is it okay for a woman to sleep in another man's apartment? She's married.
Oh, yeah, well, they're basically gay anyway, so what did she say? Practically gay
They're
anyway.
practically my gay besties. What does that even mean?
But are they gay?
No. Pastor Cal goes, are they gay? No. So what did that statement even mean? Are you trying to say that they might as well be gay because you guys are so close? What do they have to do with being gay?
They might as well be gay because they don't want to have sex with her. Or nothing's going to happen.
So you think.
No, so she wants us to think.
That part.
You see what I'm saying?
You didn't.
Like,
so
stop
you didn't
trying
even say, oh, they're like my brothers or they're like family. You
right.
jumped straight to gay. What are you talking about? I'm call you and be like, hey, yeah, I'm gonna stay the night at my homegirl's house.
Mm-hmm.
See if you don't act up. Pastor Kyle broke it down to her, which is, you would think is common sense that it wouldn't need to be broken down, but he broke it down to her.
Mm-hmm.
And she still was trying to debate and fight back. Again, like I said, none of her behaviors are screaming, I want to be married.
She don't.
You want to have sleepovers at your friend's house? Why?
This is crazy.
How much are you drinking that you need to sleep at your friend's house?
That part.
What about?
And you're already away from your husband 2 weeks out the month.
And now you want to sleep
now
at your friend's house?
Now you sleeping over your friend's house too? Sis, what is this?
So next scene, we're with Bree and Vincent, and they're going to each other's houses. Vincent goes to Brianna's house. He's talking about her TV is leaning forward like Michael Jackson.
Right.
And, you know, it was just like, you know, a passing by funny little comment, not a big deal. Yeah. So then they go to Vincent's house. She's over there. Wait, let me bust out this. Let me get a protractor. Trying to analyze his TV. Your TV's leaning too.
Is it at a right angle?
No, because yours is leaning too. Girl, what are you doing? What are you talking about? Who cares? He made a joke all the way at your apartment. Why are you bringing it all the way to his apartment?
We still holding on to the TV leaning?
Do you just take every little joke
critique or
as an offense and you hold on to it
She's
and try to get back at it later? Like, oh, I'm gonna hold on to this. He ain't gonna worry.
Why he talking about my TV like that?
What does he mean?
I see his TV when I get over there.
I bet you it's leaning.
Good girl.
Are you okay?
It's not even that serious.
She can't let stuff go. And this goes back to the other night when she was like, I'm sorry, am I getting on your nerves?
Oh, yeah. Have I gotten on your nerves? Yeah.
You're getting on my nerves. Are you okay?
They go into the mutual space and right off the bat, take off your shoes. She says her quirks are cleaning up after people. And
that's not a quirk. I don't know.
Cleaning up after people?
Yeah,
picking
Bree,
up
what are you talking about?
Yeah. I really do like Brianna, but she's coming off a little bit like unnecessarily.
She's a lot
heavy. Like she's taking all my energy.
She's draining
on
a lot of drama
for no reason. Then Pastor Cal comes through. And Pastor Cal, he's reading the room. He sees, like, Vincent is like, yes, she's the light of my eyes. She's the center of my world. He's like saying all these sweet stuff about Brianna.
My cinnamon apple.
Yeah.
Pastor Cal asked them if they have seen any issues that have arrived or may arrive in their marriage. So Vincent I just feel like he just wants to treat her like a delicate little flower, like a little butterfly. Oh, let me just sit you down here.
He sees how sensitive she is.
Yeah.
To criticism.
Oh, yeah.
He picks it up because even with the TV thing, we're like, yo.
Or with the bossy thing.
Yes. Mind you, we have not heard the word bossy this whole episode. They're using every word but bossy. What word did they use?
Assertive.
They used
direct.
Direct, yes. They used assertive. She said rude. She said another word too. Like, they just made sure they stayed away from the word bossy.
Oh, when Pastor Cal says if they have any issues, Vincent just says that he really has a big thing about having respect. And he says, I don't want to say that you don't respect me. It's just that, it's the way you say things sometimes. So he says, I feel like you should work on your tone and your delivery of how you say things. I just say things a little differently than you. He's very soft and delicate in trying to explain what it is.
Right.
Without hurting her feelings or saying anything that might make her upset. So Bree just says, well, I don't want him to think that I'm rude. I don't want him to think that I'm coming off rude. And, Vincent just says, we just communicate differently.
He gets real uncomfortable in the room. Pastor Cal interjects, and then he's talking to Brianna, and then Vincent goes to say that he doesn't want the disrespect to happen because he's afraid of his reaction.
Which goes back to what we said.
Where the sister cousin was like, he has a really
bad temper, and Vincent is still denying this.
He's denying it.
Oh no, I don't yell or he said that in a meeting with Pastor Cal. Oh, it's not that I would yell or anything. Why would you be afraid of your reaction? What
is it that you do?
Could you have that you would be afraid of?
She says, that's the word. She said off-putting. She says she doesn't want to be rude or off-putting. But it's interesting because she says that, but then she says rude things and acts like they're not rude. So it's
what did she say to him when they came into their mutual space, their new apartment together, and he popped open the champagne. Yeah, I bought some champagne for us to celebrate. He spilled some, and she said, "So, oh, such a Vincent thing to do." And it's like, what does that mean?
What does that mean?
I have no clue. And she was making little snide remarks here and there. And then she said, yeah, I felt an energy shift. I have no idea where that came from.
You
and
know
to
exactly
me, it's like,
where
are
it came
you
from.
that unaware?
But you saying you felt an energy shift, but then you saying you don't know why. You literally felt the energy shift and you said, what's wrong? So because you knew what you said was disrespectful and rude.
That's what I don't get.
But then you want him to...
She goes to ask him, well, what did I do? What happened? Are you okay? And at first he doesn't really want to tell her. He just says, no, I'm tired. But then they go in the bathroom. I guess he didn't want to say it on camera. I don't know.
Yeah.
And he just says, you're making little smart comments. And she says, what smart comments did I say? I am so confused. I am confusion. Huh? So I'm like, that didn't seem smart to you? That seemed like, I don't know. She's acting, like I said, she's acting completely unaware. So then he explains to her what it is, and she's like, oh, like, I didn't think that was smart. And then in her confessional goes, I mean, I know I make smart comments, but I just didn't know Vincent was that sensitive.
So pick one. It's either you make smart comments or Vincent is sensitive. Because she has a way of not owning what she does by making it the other person's issue. So that's not how it works. It's either I make smart comments and I'm going to take full responsibility and work on that, or my comments are normal and he's just too sensitive and he needs to work on that. You have to pick one. It can't be both.
So he makes a joke about how your TV is leaning, which it is, and you can't help but bring it up probably like 30 minutes later, however long it was to get to your apartment, and sit there and analyze his TV. But he brings up a valid point that you were making smart remarks. You admit that, yeah, I do make smart remarks, but then you say he's sensitive?
Like, what the hell is That's So Vincent supposed to mean?
What does that? And
that's a valid question.
He asked her, and she was like, he said, so are you trying to say like I'm stupid or?
Right.
No, I would never say, okay, well, what does it mean, girl? What were you trying to infer by saying?
What's
that's
the reason for saying something like that? What's the reason?
What was the reason? What was the reason? I know what's going on. You know what's going on. Don't try to make me think don't try to gaslight me and make me think I'm crazy. It's weird that you admit it in the confessional, like, yeah, I probably was making smart remarks. Why you didn't say that to him? Or why didn't you just apologize? You know what? I did say some little, I thought, it was like
it's
funny.
It's an immaturity.
But that's what it's coming off like that. I guess because she kind of tries to minimize the situation, like, oh no, that's not what I was trying to say, but she still doesn't explain what that's such a Vinny thing to do means. He's like, you know what? Let me go ahead and protect my peace and salvage this relationship, and I'm gonna go take some space. So he decides to just slide off, and he's like, you know what? I think I might go home.
Yeah.
So
he definitely felt himself getting mad, and he didn't want to blow up because she was really trying it. She was really trying it.
So thank you guys for watching our review. We're gonna have part 2 coming after this, discussing Paige and Chris. It was just too much. We had to make a separate video. So we didn't want to hit you with, it's a 2-hour TV show. So we didn't want to hit you with 45 minutes, an hour. We're trying to keep it low, quick, so you guys can digest it all. I know it's a lot. But thank you guys for tuning in. We appreciate each and every click, each and every view. Yes. And make sure you follow us on Twitter at Suga and Spice 88, and follow us on Instagram with the same name at Suga and Spice 88.
And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you guys.
See you next week.
Bye.
Good morning.
Good energy.
Today we gon' spread
good energy.
Today we gon' share
good energy.
I go to work.
Today gon' be a great day.
Good
Wake
energy.
up, thank God, drink water, meditate.
Good
First
energy.
5 minutes will dictate your whole day.
Good
All
energy.
about that positivity and raising up your frequency.
Good
If you
energy.
negative, you will get removed immediately.
Good
Say
energy.
eat clean, alkaline, nourishing.
Good
What you
energy.
put